Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my August favourites. Sorry that I haven't had a video out in over a week. I went home to see my family for a few days and just things like work got in the way. So if you want to see what I've been loving for the past month, then please keep watching. Alright, so I've got a couple of books today, a Blu-ray, quite a few pop vinyls, and just little bits and pieces. Alright, first up, I want to give a shout out to my new fringe. I was a little bit unsure as to whether I wanted a fringe back, and now I think I'm quite happy with it. Obviously I have a lot of hair, but I'm not sure if I'll keep growing it out and just have no fringe again or keep cutting it. Let me know down below if you prefer fringe, no fringe. So yeah, that's my first favourite, something different. Okay, next up I want to show you a Blu-ray that I bought. This is both for Ben and I. Ben went and saw it at the cinema and I had to sneaky watch it. So it is Batman the Killing Joke. I have read the comic. Yes, we own it. But yeah, this was actually only $20. I know it's quite short, but I feel like something like this would be way more expensive. But yeah, $20. We actually did really enjoy it. I have a massive crush on the Joker, so there was also no way I was gonna pass it up. It's also nice buying Blu-rays purely for special features. So even if this was more expensive, we probably would have watched it, would have bought it purely for the special features. So I'm really happy that I bought that this month. Next up is a random item I bought from a kind of collectible store that sell kind of new things, but mostly vintage items and a lot of Star Wars items. So I picked up this Star Wars lolly jar. It was only $3. It was pretty gross. I don't know if I'm actually going to put lollies or food in it, but it's got R2-D2 and C-3PO on the top and a sticker. This is from 1997, so it's not super old, but considering it was in pretty gross condition, it's pretty cool. I might put stuff in it, but yeah, for $3 I wasn't going to pass it up. There we go, and I think just for the top it was pretty worth it for $3. Alright, so you might have heard me talk about this in previous videos or seen my post on Instagram. It's a novel I just read. It is Claudia Gray's Lost Stars. This is a canon Star Wars book. I've just recently finished reading Bloodline and I've jumped into Lost Stars. Next I'm going to go back and read Aftermath, as we've just bought Aftermath Life Death, just up there. So yeah, I absolutely loved this. I thought I really got into Bloodline, but this was even better. The two main characters of the story and just following what they do with the Empire and their homeworlds is just amazing. I was hooked. So it does say that Lost Stars includes all new post-Star Wars Return of the Jedi content, as well as clues about The Force Awakens. So they're not in-your-face clues, but if you've watched Force Awakens and then read this, you'll pick up on a few things, and it's really quite cool. It got me pretty excited while I was reading it. It is kind of thick. I think Bloodline might have been thicker, but this didn't take me long at all, and I would highly recommend reading this. It's a bit different. It gives you an insight into kind of the Empire's side of life, and it's so strange, following lives of stormtroopers and family and stuff. It's kind of funny. But yeah, this is such a good book. Alright, you would have seen me post about this on Instagram as well. Ben actually picked it up for me after I said that I really, really wanted it. So it is Mad Love and Other Stories. Obviously, I love the Batman animated series versions of the characters, and just seeing, this is kind of more a sexualized version of Harley Quinn in the actual comic. But it was really fun to read. Obviously, it's not all Harley Quinn and Joker. It does have other stories in it, obviously. But it was nice to kind of read this version of the characters and just kind of follow characters that you like in a comic. So if you want to see a bit of Harley Quinn and Joker action, I would highly recommend picking this up. It's not new by any means. It is kind of a classic that everyone owns, but Ben was lovely and picked it up for me. So Ben actually owns Batman Adventures in graphic novel form. This is number 1. And when I went to our comic book store the other day, I saw volume 2. So I picked up volume 2 purely because it was only like $25. I'm yet to read number 1, but obviously I find this very fun to watch, so I'm going to love reading it. Thank God that it's all in colour, but I'm absolutely so excited to get into these. Just some nice light reading, even though I do have a huge to-read list at the moment, and these are kind of at the bottom because I just have so much backup of stuff to read. But yeah, I can't wait to read this. Alright, before I jump into the 4 pop vinyls that I have picked up this month, I have got more, but I've done them in separate videos, like my Comic Con exclusive ones. I just want to give a shout out to Suicide Squad. I did the review. I absolutely loved it. I see where all the criticism's coming from. It wasn't a great movie, but I loved the characters. I thought it was very fun to watch. We've seen it twice. But yeah, it's not the best movie. It is very poorly edited and put together, and the plot is just like boring. But I think the characters, and if you get invested in them, then it makes it a very fun film. And I do also want to give a shout out to Stranger Things. Yeah, of course, I've watched that. Who hasn't watched it? We were hooked. We watched it in 2 days, I think, the full 8 episodes. I'm so excited to see a season 2. Millie Bobby Brown, who plays 11, is absolutely amazing. I would watch it purely just to see her acting. I think she's 12 in real life. So that's amazing. That kind of makes me look at my own life. What have I done? And I'm not this famous 12-year-old actor. But even just like the opening themes, the songs, the credits, just the soundtrack to it is amazing. I feel like it had kind of a Twin Peaks country town feel mixed with some X-Files, and then obviously like classic 80s horror films, and that is just such an amazing mix. I am so excited, and if you haven't watched it, definitely go and watch it. It's only going to be like 8 hours of your life, so just get down and watch some Netflix. Alright, lastly I want to jump into the 4 pop vinyls that I have bought, because everyone loves pop vinyls. I love pop vinyls. I have a lot of pop vinyls. So let's go. Alright, first one up I actually picked up from work. I work in a cinema. I'm a manager at a cinema, but we also have like a games section attached to the building, and they have pop vinyls as prizes in all the games, but we can also buy them. So I picked up Sauron from Lord of the Rings. I've seen this online, but then it seemed to disappear when I went to buy it, and I thought I would never be able to pick it up. So I picked him up, and actually after I found him at work, I then found him somewhere else, and I was like, oh, you know, he's not as like special as I thought he was. But I've been looking to have a Lord of the Rings one in my collection for a while, and I'm kind of disappointed that there really aren't that many to pick from. I think when the new Hobbit films came out, they had ones of a few of Bilbo, maybe Gollum, but then a few other random characters that I'm just like not interested in. So I think he's very cute. He has a lot of detail on him. It's not really like the easiest character to identify purely just by looking at him if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, but I think with all the detail and especially that helmet, I couldn't pass him up. Alright, a Star Wars themed one that I pre-ordered back when I pre-ordered my Kylo Ren one, the unmasked version, but it didn't come until after. I think this was a different kind of wave of pop vinyls, but it's the Dagobah Yoda. He's unfortunately covered in a fair bit of bunny fur. I guess that's the downside of taking your pop vinyls out of the box. But I did just dust, and yet there is still a layer of rabbit fur. They sit just above the rabbits' cages. But he's adorable. He is a bobblehead. Sauron isn't, but most of the Star Wars ones are. I'm not really a huge fan of the other Yoda incarnations in pop vinyl form. I just don't think they're very cute, but this is the Yoda that I definitely wanted. How cute is he? There was no way I was going to pass up this little guy. He sits perfectly between my other pop vinyls. And I can't wait until I get my Dagobah Hot Toy Yoda. Alright, the last two are DC Comics ones. You can probably guess what they are. Harley Quinn and the Joker. So I picked up Harley Quinn after we saw Suicide Squad. I wanted this version, and I do like the Suicide Squad version ones, but more so of the Joker. So I thought I'd pick up a classic Harley Quinn. She's got her mallet here and some sassy eyes. She is very cute. Definitely prefer this version than the Margot Robbie one. Margot Robbie as a character is great, but this one as a pop I think is cooler. And then for the Joker, I've never actually been a huge fan of this design. I just want one that looks like Mark Hamill's Joker. I don't know why that's so hard for them, but like the spinny eyes on this, I'm just not sure. But then again, I picked this one up from work when I picked up Sauron, so it was a little bit cheaper for me. So I do think he's cute. At least he's got the purple suit. But yeah, the spinny eye, like the spiral there, I'm just not 100% sure about. But once again, he was cheap, so there was no way I was going to pass him up. Alrighty, so those are most of the things that I have bought or been loving for the past few weeks. I feel like I did buy a fair bit. I splurged on buying like lots of vegan goodies and stuff, but obviously I ate them the same day that I bought them. So yeah, a few different things this month. I'm probably going to start dying down on buying things for the next few months because I'm going on holiday in November. So I'm going to save all my money for shopping for then. And I did just buy a new figure, which I am about to do an unboxing video of, but there's a sneaky peek. Alright, please remember to like this video and leave any comments down below if you have any requests. And please remember to subscribe to my channel. I do normally post once at least per week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!